So this canvas has a little bird poop on the bottom, and it has a pine needle that the position is perfect. And it's secured there by a little piece of sap that fell on it from the tree. So it's amazing. All of the artworks in this gallery are made by Gomsil Forest. And Gomsil is about 3 hours east of Seoul in South Korea. And I met Gomsil Forest in 2011. And I see it as kind of this moment where my view of how I produce art changed, or began to change very profoundly. I've let the forest do everything. And all I've done basically is the things that Gomsil Forest can't do. So I bring the canvas to the forest, I let the forest know what we're doing, and I ask it to spend 1 year making art. And then 1 year later, I come back. I thank the forest, I take the canvas, and we put it in the gallery, basically, as it is. For me, it's an experiment to see, to try and capture nature's voice on this canvas and see if we can listen to it in this way. And I think it worked really well. Yeah, I wasn't sure that the forest would accept my request. I was planning for the worst, which is that we come back and the canvas is nowhere. And in fact, the forest kept 3 of the artworks. You know, for whatever reason, it didn't want to give us 3 of the canvases. And we looked, and the farmer who lives there, it's his land. The farmer looked, he went through the forest and said, "Oh, I'll find them. If they're there, I'll find them." And yeah, sure enough, we only found 7 canvases out of 10. So we put those 7 up, and then as a little jab at the forest, I drew 3 blank rectangles on the wall to represent the ones that it didn't give us. And what is it when we say nature is the artist? You know, it's everything that's living in that forest, in that ecosystem. It's the birds, it's the worms, it's the bugs crawling all over the canvases, you know, the birds pooping on the canvas, all of the microorganisms in the soil, you know, the mold on the leaves, right? So when we say the forest is the artist, we kind of have to realize the enormity of life within this space, you know. They're all extremely beautiful. They're exquisite pieces of work, and they're all different. When we were installing the show, one of the curators just stood there, and "I think Gomsil is a genius," she said. I think that's the best way to characterize what's happened on these canvases. You know, some people can't believe it. They say, "Yeah, you sure you didn't move this here or put this here?" And no, nature is the master at making natural looking artwork, right? I mean, obviously, it can't be any other way. When we think about it, many artists and writers and musicians, when they talk about their inspiration or, you know, how they come up with their ideas for producing work, we can't really explain it. And so we attribute it to nature, you know. Inspiration comes from nature, and then I use that inspiration to do something. And there's something here that's really useful to investigate, I think. When something's done really beautifully, we tend to call it natural, right? We use this word, this painter's so natural, you know, what he does. This dancer is so natural, yeah? So we use the word all the time. And I think we don't actually realize that when we say that, what we're meaning is that that person and nature are the same, right? They're acting in accordance with each other, or the human is acting in accordance with nature. And then we call it natural. Oh, that person's a natural. So there's something to this, right? But I don't think we think about it this way a lot of times. So, you know, what to do but give nature its own art exhibition. You know, can we see the voice of nature on the canvas? Can we listen better to nature? I think that's really the key. You know, what are the tools that we have as human beings to listen better to nature and to really investigate this connection?